Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Good morning, besties. It's Behind the Shade, and I am up, ready to give you my love and marriage recap on this beautiful Resurrection Sunday, baby. I'm working on the holidays, honey. What? But we got to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 10, episode 21, Kissing Cousins. Yeah, let's unpack this thing so we can go on about our day and enjoy Easter. Besties, I don't know if you got my notification, but I just let you know. Did y'all know? I just found out after I did my recap yesterday with the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. They air again tonight after Atlanta. And so they will be taking Married to Medicine slot. They will move to Sunday at 9 p.m. after Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm like, bravo, what are y'all doing? Y'all wearing me out. But thank goodness that I'm off on most Mondays. So you will get those things on Monday. I may use just Sunday night to do my notes, and then I'll bring to you 2 recaps on Monday. Okay, enough about that. Let's get into this, honey, because we got to get into it. First of all, we'll get into it. So the episode begins. Marceau is highly bothered by hearing from Ken that Tisha started the mess between Ken and Trisha with those DMs. You know, Marceau is a player himself. He's a DMer himself. I don't know. We know that there's been a lot of things that we heard about Marceau that won't come to the light for some reason. So he is the main person who wants her to be quiet talking about other people's relationships and marriages because he don't want his to be exposed. And I told y'all, if I remember correctly, a long time ago, because you know we're in season 10, but I believe I heard a long time ago that there is a clause that Marcel's business, you know, his extramarital affairs cannot come to the show. But I'm kind of like, it's in questioning because Martell kind of sprayed him a bit, you know. But anyway, and speaking of Martell, why is Martell so amped up every time he hears anything about Trisha? Anything. He just, oh no, not her. Oh, I should do it. Oh no. Why is he so amplified? Why is so he reactive to his little boo? It's giving, I want that old thing back. Kind of how how Lance feels about Destiny. A little remorse, a little one got away. But anyway, back to these people. So Marceau goes into daddy mode and calls down his daughter, Tisha. Hey, T, huh? Come here. So she comes directly down the stairs like he's her daddy. And so as he's, you know, he wants her to talk about what had happened. Well, he's explaining to her that he bumped into Ken. So she's trying to downplay her involvement and creates this whole dialogue that Trisha said, you know, her and Ken are going through it because of social media and the outside noise. You know, Marceau brought outside noise to Tisha maybe 2 seasons ago when they business was being out, you know, when they mess was out, being exposed by the Martell and the coleslaw of it all. And so she's using, you know, the term that she learned from her husband, aka daddy, that outside noise. And Marceau cuts her off. He's like, you said he be in people's DMs. No, I didn't. No, you know what? You really have to convince me that Tisha has 2 master degrees. You just have to show it to me. I just don't believe it. It don't make sense. It don't add up. Okay. No, I didn't. And so Marceau is telling her, listen, you talking about their business does not help our relationships with them. It doesn't help our marriage. It doesn't help dealing with Ken. It don't help. What if the conversation was turned around? He wants Tisha to start thinking before she speaks. So now Tisha trying to say that Ken told Trish he heard she was out with some dude that was built too. That got out. And no. Marceau is like, block the outside noise. So Tisha is just rambling and rambling because she's trying to make herself be the good guy. She wants the heat off of her. She want to stop being chastised by her husband, daddy. So he tells her that they don't need to be the outside noise because you are being the outside noise, Tisha. So he said, we don't need to be carrying bones. We're the same people that's telling folks to stay out of our marriage. So you gonna turn around and start causing mess in other people's relationships? So she's like, And she was like, well, no, think to yourself, Tisha. What if you were talking to yourself about you and Marceau? Would you like that? Oh, when I tell y'all, Miss Tisha is an airhead. Straight up. She is a true airhead. So Marceau tells her to apologize to Trish and Ken, and don't you ever do that again, okay? And so Tisha is still trying not to take accountability for her part in stirring the pot, okay? And then Marceau finishes off, and he's like, "Yeah." He pretty much was telling Tisha that she making them suffer in their relationship, and Tisha looking like, "Who me? Who me?" Child, misery loves company. Misery loves company. So Trisha and Destiny are over at Nell's house, and Destiny tells them about her trip to Detroit with the Scots 1.0 and 2.0 and how her mama still on one. God bless you, Rhonda. And how finding her siblings was just so, now she feels so complete, And she went from being an only child to now she has 6 younger siblings. And she seems excited to be big sis now, she got that big D energy. Now she can have big sis energy. Okay. So Destiny asked Trish, well, how's Xavier? And I said, no, Destiny, that's not what we doing. That boy turned, 18, 19 years old, and here go Destiny. She trying to find her next person today. No more Twan. What happened to Twan? No more Lance. What happened to Will? Yeah, right. But now she over there. How's Xavier? No. If I was Trish, I'd be like, no, Destiny. Don't be asking about my son. Stay your butt away, you cougar. You darn panther. You cheetah. Stay away from my little cub, okay? So Destiny went to dinner with Martell. And they when they get together, they ain't nothing but a little 2 girls gossiping, okay? So he tells Destiny, that Tisha told Trish that Ken be in them DMs. Yes, he did, honey. And so Nell is like, what? Oh gosh, I need a drink. So Martell, he feels like Tisha is being messy and she needs to stop because we all know what Marceau be up to. Honey, Martell is not gonna back down. He's not gonna stop talking about it. Child, he said what he said, okay? And Martell, didn't you tell Marceau you would keep, you know, you would keep Tisha's name out your mouth? Didn't y'all sit down and say that Marceau gonna keep coleslaw name out of his mouth, and you supposed to keep Tisha name out of your mouth? Uh-huh. But Martell, he's just, he got messy ways like a woman. Anyway, Trish explains that Tisha had the right to talk about it because her and Ken had broken up. And they all like, what? Y'all broke up? What? Y'all not together? Well, we back together now. Y'all back together now? Like, oh, Trisha, she can't answer a question just direct. She always looks to the ground. She always be rattling, rambling, stuttering. She just cannot be, nothing comes out directly with her. Ken, I don't know how you can tolerate this. So he did admit to her that he be in the DMs because he said he didn't know if they was gonna get back together. And so Trish was saying, yeah, because when she told him to get out, she meant that. She was like, she wasn't fooling with him no more. So it's like, okay, Ken, this has been said that you slide in DMs because you're trying to move on. Then you backpedal because y'all got back together. Well, I was in there, but I wasn't in there trying to meet nobody, trying to move forward with nobody, trying to get to know nobody. They be in there asking me about fitness tips. Shut up. We'll get to that, besties. So, child, now they talking about having kids. I know you effing lying. No. Trisha, you are still a kid. That's the last thing y'all need to do is I can't even fathom it. The last thing Kid and Trish needs to do is create a kid, procreate. No. She's like, yeah, I come from a big family. I can see myself with 2 more kids right now. Ain't Xavier like 19, and that little girl might be a junior or a senior in high school. You want to start over with a man that you're not married to because you're still married to your grown kids' dad, and y'all in therapy, and girl, no. Yeah, we've been talking about it for a year. So Destiny gonna say, well, they better hurry up and have a kid in the next 3 days because at this rate they break up every 3 days. So Destiny and Nell is telling Trish that they think Ken is trying to trap her. Child, exactly. Controlling. He don't want to move forward. He feel like he's invested too much and he wants this relationship to work, even though there's plenty of signs that says it shouldn't and can't and won't. Okay, and I don't understand the thrill of trying so hard to make something work that should be easier at this age. So I'm like, well, Destiny, did you get trapped or did you do the trapping? Because how you know, girl? How you know? So Nell, of course, is asking Trisha, do you want to marry Ken? Insert long silence. Yeah. I'm like, girl, no, you don't. Did she look on the ground when she said yes? Because if she looked down, she don't mean it. I'm learning Trisha's love language. I'm learning her the way her communication skills. I'm learning because that girl stay looking on the ground. So okay, so Nell tells them about the family dinner that happened recently when Kiera was there with Lance. Antoine was there, and then she brings up the night where Lance brought the kids by and he was leaving the house to go get pizza and he met Destiny outside in the driveway where they talked for 45 minutes. Well, actually, Lance must have picked up the pizza, and I think that's where Destiny saw him and she followed him to the house because Nell said the pizza was outside getting cold. So Destiny says they're still friends, and she feels more like his therapist now because he tells her everything. And so Nell says, "Well, I get that, but I don't think Kiera likes that." And of course, Destiny gonna say the whole insecure thing. Well, she that insecure that she needs to get closer to her man. Okay, well. Moving on. Nell says she don't even know if Lance and Kiera are still together. Child, were they ever together? Because Lance liked to play on the fence. Okay. So, like Trisha and Ken, possibly, they kind of act like that. We don't know if they're together or not. What's going on? There's always something, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Destiny says that she gonna keep her mouth shut because she know what's up between Lance and Kiera. And Trisha says, she talks to Lance a lot too. And we all like, what? You talk to Lance? Why? Huh? Why you talking to Lance? You don't even know him. When that start? When you and Ken broke up? Huh. So Nell brings up Lance's birthday party that's coming up. And she was like, wear black, white, and green. Those are his colors. And I'm like, oh, but when we see the party, it's a casino theme. Like that theme changed quickly. So Nell and Kayla meet up with Lance at the venue where the party's gonna be. And he was just talking about how he don't have a lot of friends and la 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 la. And this venue is huge. And I'm just sitting here like, well, how come you just didn't have your party at Black? Because it wasn't a lot of people there. It really wasn't. So they're talking. So Lance has this big old scar right smack dab in the middle of his nose. And so they talk about that. So it was this one day he was out hanging out with the boys. They were playing and he forgot to eat and he passed out and fell on his face. I'm like, what? But he said he was not drunk. He said he wasn't. Nell looking like, yeah, you need to sit your butt down. You've been outside too much. You need to sit it down. And so, um, yeah, Nell wants him to, hang out at the house, stop dating, and focus on his children. But he ain't listening to her, and this is part why Nell can't relax and have peace because she's still raising grown kids. In this moment, I'm sitting here looking at Lance like, you are just such a mama's boy. You are such a mama's boy. And Nell, I just really would like to know, where is his father? Because why are you overextending yourself to an adult? Like she's the one that threw the party. She told him this was going to be the last time she threw a party because he grown. So she's trying to cut the umbilical cord. You can tell she's like, she needs to pull back because these boys stress her out. Now, Kayla, she's wonderful. She's her breath of fresh air. Okay. So then Nell asked about Trish because Trish said they be talking. And so he said, yeah, I sent her an invitation. So Nell looking at him like, uh-huh, uh-huh. And he like, just like I sent an invitation to everyone else. He said he did hear that Ken and Trish are no longer living together. That's the word on the curve. But he said that he heard that they still trying to work things out. And I'm like, well, Lance, where you hear that from? Who you be talking to? Destiny, maybe? I don't know. So then she tells him, Ken been in people's DMs. And so Lance is like, well, how does Tisha know that? How do Tisha know who in Ken's DMs? And I was like, that was a good question. So then Lance asked, are Trish and Destiny friends? Because he's trying to piece out why they was kicking it at the house. And so Destiny, no. So Nell was like, yes, they are. That's why I had them over. Yes, they're friends. And Lance is like, oh, okay, because Trish commented inappropriately on one of my pictures. And so he shows them the comment on his phone. And it was a picture of him, some pictures of him, when you think you all cute and all that. And so she commented with heart, heart, heart. And then he called it a tasty emoji. And Caleb was like, oh, that's the licky emoji. So Lance went ahead and told Ken because that's what he would want a bro to do with him. There's a bro code here. So he let Ken know your girl is over here sliding and commenting over here on my IG. Get your girl, bruh. So Kayla confirms, that Trish was flirting. Child Nell is like, oh, Trisha. And I was like, yep, the little floozy is at it again. And it's just giving that, Ken and Trish, they're very tit for tat. If he do something, she gonna do it. They're very tit for tat. And that's not good for relationship. You can't be tit for tat. So it's party time. Hey, happy birthday. It's Lance's 34th birthday party. He talking about what? It's a Lance lituation. So Bartell shows up first, honey, in his nut hugging suit. Arms look like they about to bust out. I'm like, all right, Incredible Hulk. But did y'all see the nuts? I was like, come on, camel toe, horse toe, giraffe toe. Like, golly, Bartell. Could you have gotten one size, just one size larger? That's all we asking. We want you to be able to breathe. You can see his heartbeat through his shirt. Okay. I mean, goodness. So then I told y'all it's the casino thing, so no more St. Patrick's. And here come Destiny. Child, let me tell y'all. Destiny's dress was cute. She was cute in it. She had on her YSL heels. But Destiny is always cute. And she wears clothes that fit her, that compliments her. Her hair is always cute. I had to give it to her. And then here come Kimmy and Tisha. Why they both got on leopard? Child, if y'all don't go back to the zoo. Whoo, goodness. Tisha, she looked good. I ain't gonna lie, but she had on a bodysuit and it looked like she looked good in it, but it's just, you're not that girl. Like, I don't think that fits your personality. And Kimmy, she had on a leopard top with like some look like black leather shorts, and then she had on the leopard boots to go with it. Oh goodness, child. So Neil asked Destiny and Martell what did that emoji mean that Trish sent to Lance. I don't think Martell answered, but Destiny said she don't type with the emoji. She used her words. But she says Lance did tell her about the comment. She said, oh, he sent me a screenshot. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all, my uncle calling. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. It's Easter. Normally, I started making a habit of turning my volume down. And since I've been on here, my phone has been beeping. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I got it turned off. I had to call him back. He's probably going to tell me, you come over to the house earlier. And I'm not. No, I'm going to get there when I get there. So back to this. Sorry, besties. Where was I? Okay, so Destiny was like, well, maybe the emoji just means that she liked his outfit. She's such a friend. So everyone is there. The party's getting going with the 10 people in the room that's on the cast. I swear this party could have been in Nell's living room. But anyway, Nell asked Kiera, like, what's up between, you and Lance? And I'm like, I wish I would be a 34-year-old man. Man. And my mama is all in my relationship business, asking my girl what's up with us, because I can't tell her and I'm not giving her the right answer, that I'm on the fence. And I'm just like, dude, check your mama. That's not player, son. It's just not. You are such a child. And like, Kiera, go get you a man, girl. He is not ready. He's a child. He's a child. Lance is a mama's boy for real. Okay. So Kiera's like, he's not ready. He puts in no effort. It's just he making stuff complicated. He going out with his homies when we supposed to have a date night. He come up missing, and woo, all the things that make you a player. So Nell says, he got too much going on. And so Nell feels like she being played. Kiera like, well, I feel like he playing me. What are you talking about, lady? So Dale and Kiera confront Lance about his lack of effort in their situationship. And they going back and forth and back again when you dealing with a kid and not a man. Okay. They talk about the time not being spent, being with their kids, no efforts of dating. He at the club instead of date nights. And he's not informing her on his whereabouts and all that. And he said he don't owe her that. And Nell is like, yes, you do. He's like, I'm not married. She said it don't matter. And he's like, you know what? I work and I parent. And if I want to go out with the boys, then it shouldn't be no issue. And I don't feel like I owe anybody that. Yeah, that's why you falling down on your face, not remembering to eat, working too hard, trying to shuffle between these kids. But y'all know the real tea is the baby mama is in the picture. That's what I heard, honey. So Nell is all mad because she's like, well, why did you have her sitting at my dinner table saying that y'all are exclusive? She was like, my dinner table is exclusive. It's for relationships. And so, Lance was like, yeah, we need to have a conversation. And so Lance said he assumed they were no longer exclusive because they talked about it and they decided to date others. And so she think they are exclusive, kind of, sort of, and he was like, yeah, we need to have a one-on-one. And I'm like, well, are y'all exclusive or not? Just yes or no. And y'all, did y'all peep that Marceau was behind them? Heck of listening, just nosy. He back there pretending like, he getting drinks, of course. But baby, he was back there all in the business. Marceau, like, he trying to get the tea, honey. Ooh, these men on this show. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess Nell is still talking. Are y'all still interested in each other? And it's like they're both entertaining others. So Nell sets her boundaries and she walks off, honey. She was like, well, don't you bring another woman around my grandkids, and don't you bring another woman to my dinner table. And then she walk off because she mad. And when she walked off, she was trying to get her little throw off the chair. And child, why is Chris, Maurice, and Martell, they standing there listening? They being nosy too. Child, I was like, they cannot pretend well. They all standing there just looking like a deer in headlights. Baby, Nell she's still a mama bear, but she's trying to break it up. You see some of her growth in this, she told him, this is the last party I'm throwing for you. You grown, do it yourself. Trying to see what's going on with this girl, because she's a little invested. Because remember, she been knowing Kiera since Kiera was a baby. Kiera used to go to Nell's daycare. So, she's a little, Kiera might be like a little play daughter to her, so she can't handle her recklessly. And so I like the boundary she set for Lance. Don't bring another heifer to my house or around my grandkids. You want to play on your own time. So then we get Tisha apologizing to Trish and Ken, I guess, because she don't even believe it. The apology is not sincere. It's forced. It's coming from Marceau. She's because she can't even get it out. I guess, I need to apologize. I'm like, with all them question marks on the end, I think not. Girl, save that. Save it. But go off, Trish. Not Trish. Go off, Tisha. What you say? So she says she guesses that, they didn't like what she said. Oh, did y'all see Marceau's face in the confessionals when she was trying to explain herself again? So then Tisha tells us, well, she was just looking out and didn't want Ken to gaslight her because things are being said about him. Child, and Marceau is sitting there, hey, what? Oh, his facial expressions was funny. Okay. So, Marceau is telling her, well, Tisha, what you're talking about is being messy. You are being messy. And Tisha's just like still rambling. And so Marcel stops her. And then, they both understand because, both of their DMs are popping, but Trisha says she don't respond to her DMs. And Ken checks his because he say because of the podcast, fitness tips and fitness journeys and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, y'all both be posting thirst trap pictures. That's the cause of this. Ain't nobody really checking for y'all. Y'all bodies are on fleek. Uh-huh. And so if someone is, of course, people are in your DMs because y'all look good to people. The body is on, the people want to holler. They don't like your relationship. It's terrible. They're trying to help you out, Ken, but you can't see the forest for the trees. He says he's not looking to fall in love on social media, so that's not what he does, honey. And I'm like, well, that's what you and Trisha did. That's how y'all got together. And your girl over there hearting and licking on other people's posts at their pictures. Yeah. And like I said last week, Ken, let's see the DMs. Let's see your responses. Let's see how you're responding. What are you saying? What context are you using? Are you talking about Trisha like a dog? Are you, wanting sympathy? Are you inquiring and asking women where you located? I'll be out that way when I'm on my truck. Are you trying to hook up? We need to see your DMs. We really do. So Marceau has to clean up everything for Tisha because she can't put a full complete sentence together. So, Marcel is like, you know how the internet is, you can act like you strong and all that, but that internet will tear you down. It will humble you, And so he says they both asking for attention. He let them know y'all both be posting thirst trap pictures. And they looked at him, and then production put two pictures side by side, one of Trish, one of Ken, and they're very thirst trappy pictures. But Marceau explains, that the way they display themselves online can make their relationship harder. And he was like, yeah, you want to be tough. You act like you don't be responding. He said, but that internet will impact your relationship. Okay, I agree. He already knows because, honey, that internet was about to tear Tisha up. But she was not built for this, okay? So the guys gather at the crap table, and Lance asked the fellas. Ken wasn't there yet, but he's asking them like, how would they feel if a lady in this group would heart eyes a picture, and then he posted, and they're like, and I'm cool with the dude, and they all looking like, oh goodness, heart, licky tongue. And then they said it's Trisha. Oh goodness, the way Martell be cutting up, I be snickling and giggling because why does anything that you say about Trish just makes Martell react like that? Like he is so invested. Oh man, oh no, not Trisha. What is up with that? So Ken comes over and Maurice is like, put your guns up, put your, he got the arms and everything. And so he like put them up while we having this conversation. It's like, oh, he like, I don't even know what y'all talking about. So they tell him, your girl, liking, his pictures. And so Ken says, it's weird. And I just, what did he say? Something about this was really weird. And I was like, Ken, you are so. And he said, this is weird. And I was like, well, Ken, you and Trisha's relationship is weird. He says that all the outside noise and his give a darn scale is very low. Like he don't care about what others have to say. I was like, huh? You don't? You don't care if you hear something about your girl that's inappropriate? I'm just like, oh, okay, weirdo. So Maurice asked, well, is it because of what you've been doing? And he gonna say, I hate to say it like this, but no offense, but no, I think it's because Trish don't think a lot. Oh no, not another Tisha. So Nell is over there with the ladies questioning Trish on being in her son's DMs because Mama Bear is all over the place. Okay. And she was like, no, I hearted his picture. I wasn't in his DMs. And she said, well, what about the Licky emoji? And she said, that was already under his photo. It wasn't a Licky. It wasn't a lick. And everybody, Kimmy, like, let's see, let's see, let's see. Child, Destiny pulling up the picture, Tisha pulling up the picture. It's like everybody follow Lance, but okay, never mind. That was not gonna come out right. So Trisha is just deflecting. No, because we went to karaoke that night. I was drunk. Uh-huh. Then everybody looks at the picture, they react and they hollering in disbelief. And then Trisha she told Ken that she fat fingered the picture. Girl, was you drunk or was you fat fingering? And what do you mean fat fingering? Trish, there ain't an ounce of fat on you besides in the back of in your butt. There is no fat on you. You fat fingered it. And Maurice is asking Ken at the crab table, well, can she unfat finger it? And I'm like, right. And then I'm just tired of this. Well, it's so easy to do. And then you undo it. And then you undo it. What's happening? And I'm like, Ken, you don't think a lot. If you gonna believe that I fat fingered the photo, you don't think a lot. I think Ken got a motive because I just don't think he could be this dumb. But maybe this desperate. Maybe desperation makes you look stupid and dumb. I don't know. I've never been there. Anyway, Trish said it was an accident. The ladies are just squealing, honey, at the reveal of the photo in the comments. Trish said that Lance act like a kid because he sent it to everybody. He sent it to Ken. He sent it to Destiny. And I'm like, well, you over there licking on his picture? It was a licky. And Nell says, was you drunk? Because you know that's your cousin. Child, I forgot about that. Child, remember y'all, Trisha's mom and Chris Fletcher are cousins. They are related. They might be like third cousins, maybe second cousins. No, I would think that their parents were probably first. That would they would be thirds. So then Lance will be fourth. But remember, Lance is not Chris's son. But in the black community, you're cousins, even though you're not blood cousins. So, child, not they related. She's related to Chris, but here's Lance, you're a step, you in the family. So now Trish blaming it on the alcohol. Jamie Foxx. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. Is that a Kanye? No, I don't remember. But blame it on the alcohol. Child, not that your cousin. Not that your cousin. So, child, Tisha talking about after being fourth cousins, it don't matter. And Nell was like, no, yes, it do matter. Yes, it do matter. And Kimmy gonna say, not in Alabama. But Trisha and Ken deserve one another. If that's what they want to, if they want to be dumb with each other, let's let them be dumb and tip and tat and muscle to muscle and this girl, whatever. So here go Tisha being messy again. Now she didn't went from Ken and Trish. Now she over here meddling with Chris and Nell. So she asking about how can they all show up for each other when things are going on and people are going through it in this group. She's talking about Chris's real estate license issue. So Nell looking like, you don't know because we ain't cool like that. I don't fool with you like that. And so she's like, no, it's not effed up. Yes, it is. So yeah, well, Nell explained that her life has been lifing. The people came to serve her at the house. She opened the door and got served and signed the papers. She's overwhelmed. She got the two grandbabies. She was headed to Miami. Her father called. She had to turn back around and go get her father. Now he lives with her. She's still mad at the rebellious sons she got because they ain't paying her back. That's why they still owe her money. And so then she walks off and cries in the restroom. And I saw that Chris was in there. You saw the brim of his hat. I saw Kimmy in there, Destiny, and Kayla. But where was Tisha and where was Trisha? I said Tisha was probably over there spraying, telling Nell business over there to Marceau. But y'all, that was the end of this episode, besties. It was pretty good. It was a lot of moving parts. Ooh, and it's only gonna get better because now that the cat is out the bag about Chris's license, honey, it's about to go down because I am waiting to see the argument between Fletcher and Marceau and then the Scott brothers. Ooh, it's gonna be juicy. But besties, please like the video. If you're new, subscribe. Thank you to the new subscribers. Hey, besties, come on in, get comfortable. You're going to love it here. Hype the video. When you comment, swipe the comments to your left and you can hype the video. We need more besties. But thank you, besties. Thank you, new ones. Thank you, old ones. Happy Resurrection Sunday. And I'll be back tomorrow. Child, these people working me. I have Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Bye, besties.